We decided in 2020 that we needed to do something more than our usual racial justice initiatives at the choir school. And we wanted our students to be able to interact with other people.
The Underground Railroad was a system of people, places, and codes that the slaves seeking freedom could go along, and they had places to stop. So we're going to sing. These kids they're professionals, they read music, but I'm asking them to dig down deep and imagine what it was like to be enslaved and finding freedom along the Underground Railroad. Follow the drinking gourds, follow the drinking gourd, for the old man is waiting just to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd.
When I was younger, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really know what slavery was when I was a kid. So like, when I learned about it, it was just like, okay, something that happened like a while ago, like, okay, black people were enslaved. I didn't fully grasp like the amounts of hardships that the people that are the same color as myself had to go through in those times. So being on this tour and seeing where people have basically ran for their lives and for the future of other African Americans, it really like made me like take a step back and like take everything in and like just look around and see like if I was born back then, this was probably something that I would have to go through.
1 and 2 and go.
The onus is upon us all to work to improve the human condition. The onus is upon us all to work to improve the human condition. The onus is upon us all to work to improve.
You were essentially putting yourself, and if you had a family, you're putting them on the line too. You're putting everything on the line to help someone change their life. And Harriet took this trip well over 300 times, saving people, putting herself on the line to save people like you, like you, like you. So just take that all in for a second. We're here because of the sacrifices that the people before us have made. That's probably the moment I've talked about the most, thinking about the tour in its entirety. It just was such a profound moment for the children, but more so for me, I think, because when I was their age, being told about, enslaved Africans and just anything involving slavery as a whole, there was a lot of stuff that was left out. It was very enlightening, and I've mentioned to people that it was probably the most precious moment of my life.
Without the stop at the web cabin, I don't think that the students would have had the same level of understanding, the same depth, the same appreciation for the words that they were singing on this tour. They would have still, of course, understood and been moved by the words of the spirituals that were sung and all the music that we did. But without that experience at the web cabin, that really just, it grounded everybody in a way that had not happened on the tour yet or in the work that we've done here at the choir school. And they will not sing the songs the same way ever again because of that stop.
Hello. To let my people go down, Moses, way down.
Upon reaching the free north for the first time, Tubman said, "When I found I had crossed that line, I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person. There was such a glory over everything. The sun came like gold through the trees and over the fields, and I felt like I was in heaven."
I was so inspired by the material and just the goal of really trying to be able to offer this information to their choristers and fill them with just this rich history And I said to myself, there must be more that I can do. And so I realized that very close to home was Harriet Tubman's birthplace. And I thought, how many of my kids really know any of this? And how impactful would it be for my kids to go and be at Harriet's home and go to all the different landmarks that are so prevalent in her life, and then to travel her route that she took, as she took all of these freedom seekers. And then I said, well, wait a minute, if I were to come from Eastern Shore, Maryland, and come all the way up through Wilmington, and then all the way up through Philadelphia, we could keep going and all the way up to Auburn, New York. And I thought, this is what we need to do. But also to, again, connect with the music that is this music started there, right? And we sing so much of this music in our concerts, but is there a real understanding of the origins and the hardship and the emotion that went into that? So I wanted to ask Harriet and the Choir School of Delaware to join us. And so we unfortunately are not able to continue all the way up to New York. But we were going to connect also with the Bel Canto Youth Choir in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And it was very important that with each stop we connect with a youth chorus so that they could tell us the significance of Harriet Tubman in that town. And so that's why Philadelphia was such a huge place. And thank you, St. Thomas and Commonwealth, for really being the host here. I feel like I have been invited to a table, and you are welcoming us here, and it means so much. And this is the beginning, right? So we will not be able to continue on, but Joy is going to continue on the third youth chorus up to Auburn. And so what we did was, I was able to get some soil from Harriet Tubman's birthplace, the Thompson Found Plantation. And when we were in the Eastern Shore, we were able to talk with incredible storytellers that told us so much about her life. And so what I am going to do is we are going to pass this on to the Bel Canto Youth Chorus, and they're going to take it on to Auburn, and they will continue on Harriet Tubman's journey. We hope that this is a tour that we will revisit over and over. This is a story that has to continue to be taught to our children, and they have to feel this music.